George Hodel. I've been trying so hard to get into contact with you.
Fauna Hodel was someone who had the most complicated journey to find her own identity and discovered the completely worst things you could discover about yourself.
In this episode, we're getting into the next step, which is how do you survive and what do you do when you know the worst? Jay is in jail and he's powerless, but he finds a way to sacrifice his future to try to save Fauna.
That knife right there, put my fingerprints all over that. I'll sign a full confession for Janice Brewster. You cut me loose, the city's gone crazy. I get lost in the shuffle, lose me for a couple hours, and I will kill Hodel.
He sees potential in the future of this young woman that he's willing to make a sacrifice for. She still has the possibility of a bright future. I also think there's a part of him that just is so self-loathing that he sees so much of himself in George Hodel that he wants to kill that part of himself that loved killing.
In the last episode, the Watts riots have started. The city went out of control. The National Guard was called in. That added so much tension to the story and to this kind of eerie sense of the city under lockdown for us to play in.
What are you about to do? Fauna.
Where I'm going, you can't come.
In the finale, I really wanted Fauna to destroy George from an art critic's point of view.
I went to Corinna Huntington's happening. I know what Corinna would call this. She'd say, kitsch.
No one speaks to me like that.
What really kills him is her taking him down as an artist.
There's that determination to just stay alive. She realizes her own strength.
She holds him for what he is.
You're a cliche. It's boring, George. Pretending simple urges are high art. You're boring.
And that is what vanquishes him.
I'm not sure many women right now want to see the woman say bye man again. And it does show this young woman's strength, that she ultimately has to pull herself up by the bootstraps.
George is changed and damaged and broken.
There's a wonderfully poignant scene at the end in the Philippines, and this magnificent Rothko is brought to George, and he looks at it, and he says, I don't want to look at it anymore. Put it away. I think that's his final renunciation of art, of beauty, of the life that he imagined for himself.
Jay's been haunted by his ghosts of people he killed. We leave Jay surfing, and his ghosts are surfing with him.
He has not been able to dispel those, those things that haunt him. They're with him. They're there in the ocean with him at the end. But he's at peace with them now.
A big part of it is also you can be a good man without being a great man, and finding that truth is important for Jay. By the end, Fauna has grown up and she's become okay with who she was.
Fauna writes this pretty heavy philosophical mini treatise on like what it means to be alive, So she's the one that has got to figure it out for herself. No one else is gonna do it.
I think what stuck with me the most was how here's a perfect true crime story, but the outcome of the story is actually not the crime. The outcome of the story is that somebody whose identity should be completely taken apart and destroyed actually found a way to build her identity back and come out the other side of the story.
When I look in the mirror, Jay, I see something else. Something I don't quite recognize, but something I chose.